A hitman was hired by a police officer to murder her husband and a little child. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. Even in cases where they start off quite well, marriages can fail. Even with the taking of vows and the "until death do us part," people might drift apart and lose interest in one another. But what happens when that love becomes a hate so intense that divorce cannot heal it? After filing for divorce, Isaiah Carvalho Jr. began a new life apart from his estranged wife Linda, a police officer in New York City. But Isaiah was going to get the shock of his life. Linda had been arranging for him to suffer a terrible destiny. Valerie Cincinnelli had really been planning with her boyfriend to hire a hitman to kill her soon-to-be ex-husband, as well as her new boyfriend's kid, for more than 5 months. This narrative of corruption, rage, and sheer revenge seemed too horrible to be true. Isaiah and Linda were married in 2015 with the intention of being together for the rest of their lives. In addition to becoming a great police officer, Isaiah operated a machine and made extra money selling pyrotechnics. It appeared as though they were meant to be together. Despite the stress that came with Linda's employment, the pair initially appeared to be happy. The couple was able to resolve the issue. Unfortunately, things deteriorated worse. Linda made the decision to end the marriage after 4 years and start a new relationship with a different guy. A protracted custody dispute for their 2 children and mediation were part of the acrimonious divorce that ensued. However, after 5 months of agony, Isaiah assumed the situation had resolved itself. Linda had other intentions. She even devised a cunning plan to hire someone to murder Isaiah and the daughter of her new boyfriend. Linda wanted a new start and believed the only way to accomplish it would be to kill them both. Linda's new boyfriend got caught in the thick of the scam. Although he was in love with Linda, he was aware that a murder-for-hire scheme would fail. He immediately called the FBI, realizing she could use her influence inside the NYPD to make it happen. It was determined that the boyfriend would follow Linda's intentions to see how far she would go after disclosing them to the FBI. With the intention of catching her in the act, he would serve as the FBI's eyes and ears. Although her partner was first skeptical, Linda seemed unfazed by rejection. She refused to allow her former partner to abscond with her 2 children or to degrade her in front of the court during their custody dispute. Consequently, he had to pass away. During her tenure with the NYPD, Linda has encountered killings on several occasions. She understood that hiring someone to do it would be in their best interest, since she knew how killers were apprehended. There could be no evidence linking them to the killings. The boyfriend couldn't envision life without his own kid, and while he understood that Linda's divorce had been a difficult affair, murder seemed a bit excessive. But he recognized she was determined to see them die. Nothing could make her decide otherwise. Linda had an easy plan. The murderer would run over her boyfriend's daughter outside of her school after fabricating her ex-husband's death as an accident. It was a scenario straight out of a horror film for Linda's boyfriend, and Isaiah was beyond himself with shock when he learned of the homicidal scheme. "This is an absolute nightmare scenario," stated Mr. Carvalho's attorney, Matthew Weiss. Isaiah thought Linda was deeply hurt by the divorce. Given her history of run-ins with the NYPD and marital issues, it appeared that she had finally lost it. If only he realized the true severity of the situation. After 5 months of preparation and the FBI following the situation, Linda was finally ready to make her move. She was quite explicit about how her lover should be compensated, but she gave him the go-ahead to hire the murderer. According to Linda's boyfriend, he received instructions to take out $7,000 from the bank and buy the same number of gold coins. Paying the murderer in this manner would be the simplest and least traceable option. Linda, meantime, tracked out her boyfriend's kid on social media to find out about her daily schedule. She wanted to know the girl's every move so the hitman could complete his job properly. For the killings to go through without a hitch, everything had to be meticulously prepared. At last, on May 13, 2019, Linda gave her lover a call and requested a meeting to go over the specifics of the hit. He met with her while wearing a wire, expecting that the FBI would finally have the proof necessary to bring her down. The lover told Linda after their meeting that the murderous scheme was too intricate and that they would undoubtedly be discovered. But Linda told him there was a method to make sure there was no apparent connection between the crimes. Linda said the killings will occur on 2 distinct days. No one would suspect foul play since her ex-husband would be hauled out in what she called a ghetto. For his daughter, it would be a catastrophic accident, a total mishap. Nobody would have any idea. Following the discussion, the FBI concluded that in order to apprehend Linda, it would be preferable to persuade her that the killings had indeed occurred. The boyfriend said yes when they asked if he was willing to keep up the ruse. He intended to permanently imprison this heartless creature. The FBI texted Linda to inform her that her strategy had worked, posing as her lover. When they called her at home, they informed her that Isaiah, her ex-husband, had died. They did, however, also decide to go above and beyond. You won't believe the extent they went to. The officials claimed to be the killer as well. In an attempt to persuade Linda that the repulsive act had been committed, they provided her fictitious images of the crime scene. Thankfully, she accepted the bait. Linda told her partner the news right away, thrilled that the murder had gone well. In order to avoid any suspicions if they were questioned by the authorities, she wanted to make sure that their alibis lined up. Linda requested that her boyfriend, who was actually an FBI agent, delete every text message they had exchanged. They had to make sure they left no physical evidence connecting them to the crime. That afternoon, the FBI contacted Linda and took her into custody with all the proof they required. It would be an understatement to say that Linda was shocked. The man she believed loved her had outwitted the cop. Linda was charged with using interstate commerce for murder for hire after being booked by the NYPD. The officer had fallen from grace very dramatically, or had he? It appeared that Linda had a criminal record during her time as an NYPD officer. She was employed as a domestic violence officer in the 106th Precinct in Queens after joining the agency in 2017. She did, however, receive a modified duty assignment after disclosing private information to her lover. She was no longer permitted to carry a gun. What then led this cop to commit murder? Although the FBI is unable to confirm it, they suspect that her turbulent romantic history had a role. She had restraining orders against her first husband, and Isaiah Carvalho was her second spouse. Linda is now being detained without access to bail while the investigation is ongoing. There is very strong evidence of guilt in the crimes of trying to get these 2 individuals murdered, federal court in the Eastern District Judge Ann M. Donnelly said. We are grateful that Isaiah and the helpless girl both made it out alive and hope that justice will be served. Love may be a deadly thing. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.